The Legal Rights and Responsibilities of Michigan Bicyclists. This material was developed through a project funded by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning and the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Hello, my name is Captain Kyle Bowman with the Michigan State Police. Our number one goal is to make it easier for you to enforce bicycle safety laws. Our secondary goal is to increase bicycling safety on the road for everyone, motorists and bicyclists. The following video covers responsibilities for motorists and bicyclists while also providing the rights of bicyclists to use the road within Michigan law. And then finally, we will cover some unsafe and safe behavior. Bicycling is a great way to get around, increase your health, and reduce stress. So with your help, we can create a safer environment for bicyclists throughout the state of Michigan.
Many people in Michigan ride bicycles for a variety of reasons. Why do you ride?
I ride for exercise and good health.
I bicycle because I like the outdoors.
I ride to get to work.
Everyone has an equal right to use the road safely, in accordance with the law. Part 1. Bicyclists' Right to the Road. Michigan law states that a person riding a bicycle has all the rights and is subject to all of the duties applicable to the driver of a vehicle, with some exceptions. Like drivers, bicyclists must obey all stop signs and stoplights and yield to pedestrians and crosswalks. Since some sensors at intersections may not detect bicycles, enforcement should focus on riders who endanger themselves or others. Michigan state law says that people on bicycles must usually ride as close as is practicable to the right-hand curb or edge of the road. What's practicable is generally up to the discretion of the bicyclist based on road conditions. In addition, when riding on a one-way street with multiple lanes, the bicyclist can ride at the left-hand edge instead. There are times when a bicyclist may use the full lane. For example, passing, when overtaking and passing another bicycle going in the same direction. Left turns, when preparing to turn left. Hazards, when conditions make the right-hand edge unsafe or unusable, such as surface hazards, an uneven surface, debris, or parked cars. Narrow lane, when the lane is too narrow to permit safe passing. Turning vehicles, when traffic in the lane is turning right, but the bicyclist is not. Each of these riding behaviors may sometimes be misinterpreted as impeding traffic, when in fact, they are entirely and specifically within the law. People on bikes are traffic, even if they're moving at slower speeds than cars. In each of these situations, moving into the lane in line with other traffic makes the bicyclist more visible to drivers, and that makes them safer. Part 2. Dooring. When a car door is suddenly opened into a bicyclist's path, the result can be severe injury or even death. This is called dooring. The Michigan Uniform Traffic Code prohibits opening a vehicle door in a manner that interferes with traffic. To avoid a crash, drivers and passengers can use the Dutch reach. The Dutch reach is a common practice in the Netherlands. Open the car door with the opposite hand by reaching across your body. This turns your shoulders so that you're facing out the window and can see oncoming traffic. Part 3. Safe passing. Drivers should pass bicycles at a safe distance of at least 3 feet to the left, even if they are in a bike lane. Close passes at high speed can lead to fatal crashes. Drivers may legally pass a bicyclist in a no-passing zone if it is safe to do so. In at least 9 Michigan communities, there is a local 5-foot passing ordinance, including Ann Arbor, Dearborn, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo Township, Muskegon, Norton Shores, Oshtemo Township, and Portage. In rare situations, if it's impracticable to pass at least 3 feet to the left, the driver should be careful and prudent. If they decide to pass, the driver must slow to a safe speed and pass at a safe distance. If they do not pass safely, they can be cited with a civil infraction. Part 4. Riding side by side. Bicyclists are allowed by state law to ride 2 abreast, or side by side, on roads. This makes groups of cyclists more visible to drivers and decreases the length of large groups, which may make passing easier. Part 5. The right hook and left cross. One common type of crash is the right hook. If a driver underestimates a cyclist's speed and turns right in front of their path, this failure to yield can often result in a crash. Another common crash is the left cross. When a driver is turning left, other vehicles may hide an approaching cyclist. The driver must take care not to accelerate too quickly into the turn. They may fail to yield to the cyclist and cause a crash. Part 6. Weaving. When a cyclist approaches a line of parked cars, it's safest to ride in a straight line rather than weaving in and out of the parking area. Part 7. Sidewalks. State law does not require or prohibit sidewalk riding, but allows it to be prohibited by local ordinance and posted signs. Bicyclists must yield the right-of-way to pedestrians on sidewalks and give an audible signal before passing, and should take extra caution when crossing driveways or intersections. Drivers must yield the right-of-way to cyclists at intersections, whether they are in the travel lane or coming off of a sidewalk. Part 8. Hand signals. Bicyclists should signal turns when riding by extending the left arm straight for a left turn, extending the left arm up or right arm straight for a right turn, and extending the left arm down to slow or stop. Part 9. Lights. If riding at night or in the dark, from half an hour after sunset until half an hour before sunrise, bicycles must have a white front light and a red rear reflector. A red rear light is also strongly recommended. Lights may also be used in the daytime to increase visibility. Part 10. Wrong way riding. Some people think it is safer to ride against traffic. They are wrong. This is dangerous and illegal. Drivers are less likely to see bicyclists coming toward them, and people on bicycles can't see important signals and signs. Part 11. Crash investigations. A few considerations when responding to a crash. Secure the bicycle so it can be brought to court if necessary, especially in a crash with a serious injury or a fatality. Document the bicycle and the full scene, including the road surface and shoulder for at least 1 block prior to the crash. Take as many photos as possible. Check for any helmet or bike-mounted cameras and secure them. Consider turning them off if still recording to avoid overwriting evidence. Interview the cyclists and witnesses. Try to determine their riding position. Part 12. Distracted driving. Electronic distractions are a growing hazard on Michigan roads. Each step forward in smartphone technology can be a step back in safety, especially if the driver takes their eyes off the road and their hands off the wheel. Some drivers can benefit from a reminder to give full attention to the task of driving. Encourage use of the Do Not Disturb While Driving setting, the Drive Mode app, or similar features on your smartphone. Recap and next steps. Michigan law states that a person riding a bicycle has all the rights and is subject to all of the duties applicable to the driver of a vehicle, with some exceptions. When a car door is suddenly opened into a bicyclist's path, the result is called dooring. To avoid a crash, drivers and passengers can use the Dutch reach. According to Michigan law, drivers should pass bicycles at a safe distance of at least 3 feet to the left, even if they are in a bike lane. Bicyclists are allowed by state law to ride 2 abreast, or side by side, on roads. Common crashes include the right hook, when a motorist turns right in front of a bicyclist, and the left cross, when a motorist turns left. When a cyclist approaches a line of parked cars, it's safest to ride in a straight line. State law does not require or prohibit sidewalk riding, but allows it to be prohibited by local ordinance and posted signs. Bicyclists should signal turns when riding. If riding at night or in the dark, bicycles must have a white front light and a red rear reflector. It is dangerous and illegal to ride against traffic. When responding to a crash, secure the bicycle so it can be brought to court if necessary, and document the full scene. Remind drivers to give full attention to the task of driving. Distracted driving is a growing hazard.
Thank you for watching, and remember, safety and bicycling is everyone's responsibility, the bicyclists, drivers, and law enforcement. It is important that we all know the laws and how to enforce them. Always the goal is to reduce traffic crashes and bicycle-related incidents. There's a lot to remember, so feel free to go to the League of Michigan Bicyclists website for their handy handbook, What Every Michigan Bicyclist Must Know. And that website is lmb.org/must know.